Okay, please rejoin the class just in case. All right. Good evening and welcome officially to day 4 of our 30-day scriptwriting bootcamp. I've done a roll call before now. 23 people in class. Adejari Adepoye, Alaba Duloju, Angel Choice Media. You just joined us for class. I'm guessing this is your very first time joining us for the 30-day bootcamp. You're welcome. Deborah, Christopher, Dr. Chandos. Dr. Chandos, I guess this is your first time too. I'll be waiting to hear you say something, ask a question, chip in sometime during the course of the class. Doris Emmanuel, good evening, welcome to class. Emanuela Julius, you are the star of our class today. Faith Aruno, Juliet Dada, Lucy Iza, Matthew Precious, Mikhail Ajibola, Omoli Omotayo, Osho Dorcas. Dr. Chandus, you said this is not your first time. Oh, you were here on day 1. Okay, all right. You're welcome nonetheless. Thank you for joining class today. Okay, Osho Dorcas, Oyedo Damola, Paul Veronica, Precious Sida Debomi, Sarah Adikon, Shorumu Olufemi, Stephanie Enenta, Uandum Onyebuchi. I'm not sure I got the pronunciation of that name. Victory Ocheme, Sarah Degun. You guys are all welcome to class tonight. I love doing this roll call. You just, thank you for joining class today. Yeah, so today is day 4 of our 30-day scriptwriting bootcamp. I wouldn't bother to do a recap of the previous 3 classes today. If you missed any of the classes, do well to check our YouTube channel or the WhatsApp group and catch a rewatch. The first 1 week of our training, which is essentially the first 5 days, Monday through to Friday, is free. By Monday, the training will start getting gated. We'll create a new group for those who pay for the training. Those who pay will be migrated. That's where we'll now be posting details of the training and all of that. I'm just mentioning that, like I said, you don't have to join the paid training. It's optional. The first 1 week is free for everybody. By the end of this 1 week, we hope you would have been able to write a short film as evidence of what you've learned. And today's class is instrumental to that. We're learning how to generate story ideas. So let me get back to that. I mentioned that there are times you want to write, but the inspiration to write is just not there. It's not flowing. The juices, the ideas are not flowing. And yet, you have deadlines to meet. You have stuff to write. You must come up with a story idea now. Then this class is for you. I call it the story machine. And I said before the class wasn't recording that just like a human life has 4 stages, which is infancy, childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. These are the 4 stages of human life. Same way, you can liken a story to that. There are 4 stages of story, meaning you can take your story through these 4 stages, through infancy, through childhood, through adolescence, and through adulthood. And by the time you take your story to adulthood, you would have a fully formed story. So let me explain. Before I break it down, let me just mention what these 4 stages is, meaning what corresponds to, what's it called? Human life, how it corresponds to story life, so to speak, if there's anything called story life. But let's just roll with it. Let me bring up this slide. Okay. So, remember, this is just broad strokes. I would explain them in details, but this is just to give us a feeling as to what it is I'm saying. I said human life has 4 stages: infancy, childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. Okay, the same way, you can take a story through 4 stages. Stage 1, infancy, is when you do what we call a character description. The next thing we're going to learn immediately after this is how do you write a character description. After you've written your character description, that's your story in stage one. Your story in stage one is you write a fully fleshed, very interesting, well-detailed character description. Stage two is your story in childhood. And what do? You give your character, the character description you've written, you give your character a problem. Okay? Stage three, which is adolescence, is when you give your character a motivation to solve the problem. So stage two, you give your character a problem, but they don't have a motivation to solve the problem. In stage three, rather, you now give them a reason, a motivation. This is what in story circles is called the inciting incident. You now give your character a motivation to solve the problem. Stage four, which is adulthood, are the specific steps or the actions your character takes to solve this problem. Like I said, I'm going to walk us through each of these stages such that by the time we're done today, we would have come up with at least one story idea each for all of us in class today. But before I go further, you've seen this before somewhere. You just don't know. So let me show us where we've seen the 4 stages of story before, although we did not know that what we were treating was the first 4 stages of story. Where are we? Okay, so in a previous class, I defined to us what story is. Who remembers the definition of the story? Do we remember this? So a story is about someone, your main character. Remember what we said about character description? Stage 1, your story character. Is that how it's spelled? Character description. Yeah? You coming up with a well-rounded, well-defined, interesting, relatable character. That's the first stage of story. Stage 2 of story is give your character a problem. The problem is a mix of these two, which is your character is trying to do something, that is their goal, and an obstacle stands in their way of achieving that goal. Is that a problem or not? I don't know if this is making some sense to us now. The description. My spelling is world class. Even me, I know. Character description. Okay, this looks more like it. All right. And then stage 3 is to give your character a motivation to solve the problem. Meaning there is conflict and you give them a motivation to solve the said conflict. Stage 4, the actions. The action your character takes to resolve the problem. Are you getting this now? So let me stop sharing and share the previous, what's it called? This one. Are we on the same page now? Uh-oh, I'm sharing the wrong one. Jesus. Sharing the wrong slide. Okay, found it. Okay, so let's come back to here. So I don't know if this is beginning to make some sense to us now. So a story is about your character. So we have a character description. Who has a goal and an obstacle stands in the way of his goal. That is the problem your character has. And then we give your character a motivation to solve the problem. And then the specific steps or actions they take to solve the problem, that is what your story is about. Do we get this clearly now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's move forward then. Ouch. Don't do that. All right. This is a sample character description, but I'm going to take us deeper than this. So a US senator, male 50, is a sample. Let's not come here first. Let's come to character description. This is what I'm bringing us to. Character description. Okay. Give me a sec. Okay. A character description, an example of a character description is this. A village headmaster in the 1960s is tall, bald-headed, with a protruding stomach. He's proud and condescending and has a superiority complex. Can you picture this character? Like, as you read this text, can you picture the human being we're trying to describe? Sometime in the 1960s, a village headmaster, okay? And then his physical description is tall, bald-headed, and has a protruding stomach. Then his characteristics is proud and condescending and has a superiority complex. In simple English, when you're writing a character description, these are the major, what's it called, notes you want to hit, the major things you want to fulfill. Your character might have a name, might not. Name is not the most important thing. But if you can give your character a name. But these are the most important ones. You should come up with the age of your character, the sex of your character, whether male, female, etc. Actually, there's just male or female. And then the job or the profession of your character, the financial status of your character, the social status of your character, meaning are they an elite or masses, the marital status of your character, and any other peculiar attributes, e.g., a physical attribute, their height, their color, etc., or their behavior or attitude, meaning in this case, so all of this, we can use this above to answer it. So name, although we don't have a name for our character, but we have his age. Quick question, although I know I've written the answer here, but what age do you think a village headmaster in the 1960s, what age do you think he will be?
'50s.
Lucy says 60, okay? 50s, okay?
That's 45.
45. Deborah says mid-50s.
55.
Sarah says 60. Somebody said
55.
55. Okay. Okay. Angel Choice, your hand is raised. Please go ahead.
I think 30 years.
30. In the 1960s, 1960, when Nigeria got independence, a village headmaster.
Then they were pretty younger then.
Okay. I think they are more older than 30, but then 30 can be come again.
I think at 18 or 20 they started teaching.
And teaching, that's different from becoming the headmaster now.
From teaching they go to, they attend what they call it
teacher training college.
From there
yeah.
you come
yeah,
I think so.
Okay. All right. But most of them get to be a little old. So let's agree to disagree that 40s and 50s is more like the age that the headmaster will most likely be. But it's fine. We could have a young village headmaster. But we all kind of agree that the age would be around the 50-ish range, okay? And it most likely will be a male. In the 1960s, there were not so many female headmasters. Okay, what is his job? He's a teacher / headmaster. What's his financial status? Is he rich, upper class? Is he poor, lower class? Excuse me. Or is he middle class? We know he will be middle class, yeah? He's not particularly poor, but he's not rich either. However, for his social status, he is an elite. He's not part of the masses. Because as a village headmaster, he will probably be the only person that has a bicycle in the village. He'll probably be the only one that lives in a bungalow that has aluminum roofing sheets in the village, possibly. While others live in huts with thatch roof, he will live somewhat above them. More importantly, he will be the one who will be conversing with people. He will move with people like chiefs, kings, maybe even the white man. So he is actually elite, not masses. He probably will be married. So his marital status will be somewhere around married. And for his other attributes, well, you can't be hobnobbing with the king and not be a little proud. Fine, some might not be, but the general idea is most of them will be proud. But I don't know if we get where I'm going to with the description for our character. If you understand this, please let me know. I mean, if you understand what I mean by these categories that you should fill to come up with a random character. Deborah, Stephanie, Juliet, Faith. Okay. Somebody is smashing the like button. Interesting. Sarah Degon, Mikhail. Okay. All right. So since you guys say that you understand the concept of character description, especially with the other half, let me read it again. Adejari, Adebola, okay? Adeboye, rather. So let me read my character description again to us. Why? Because I'm going to give us 3 minutes. Not going to be up to 5 minutes, 3 minutes. And everybody should come up with two character description for two random characters. It shouldn't be something you've written before. Just come up with two random characters. Come up with a random age, a random sex, a random profession, a random financial status, social status, marital status, and then give them a physical attribute. Are they tall? Are they short? Are they fat? Are they round? Is he leper? Is he horrible? Is he a woman? Is he a man? etc. And finally, come up with a behavior for this person. Is this person proud or humble? Are they loud? Are they gentle? Are they introverted? Are they extroverted? Is it the life of the party? Is just come up, and you could use yourself as a template. It's perfectly acceptable. Or your sibling, your brother, your sister, your dad, your mom, your uncle. You can pattern your character description around anybody. Are we good? So this is 8:57. We have 3 minutes, meaning by 9 o'clock, I expect all of you to paste your character description, 1, preferably 2, in the chat box. You have 3 minutes. Your time starts now. First person to post character description, your 50 naira is waiting. Angel Choice Media. Don't mind us. 50 naira is always the price for completing tasks and assignments. I should go through the list one more time. Okay, let me put the list up. Okay, so you could give your character a name, but they should have an age, sex, a job or profession, financial status, social status, marital status, and then any other peculiar attributes, e.g., a physical attribute and a behavioral or attitudinal attitude. Okay, attribute rather, attitudinal attribute. Yeah, let's go there. Who is first to post? I'm rooting for Mikhail Ajibola. And Praise Seed. I'm rooting for you guys to be the first, one of the first two to post. $60 seconds more. Omole Omotayo, female, mid-30s, rich, classy, fit farm body build, average height, beautiful working class. Okay. Osho Dockers, age 35, male, graphics designer, single, has a speech defect, comfortable. When you say comfortable, I think you mean his finances, yeah? Introverted, easily angered. Okay. Why does this look like somebody I know? Osho Dockers, who are you describing? Deborah Christopher James, mid-30s, single and skilled, but troubled investigator. And who is going to fill in the gap for Deborah Christopher? Shoromu Olufemi, a market woman, podgy, stark, short, dark, married and loud, middle class with excessive makeup and bleached face with uneven patches. Kilo de Shoromu Olufemi, Shogunlaye ni, kilo de. Do you want to kill the poor woman? Hey. Mikhail Ajibola, Jonah, 16 years old, Bill, middle class, masses, student, loud, rough with a stutter, short and thin. Okay. Oyebuchi, the typical village illiterate woman with her daughter, Amuche. The woman is in her early 40s, a widow, dark in complexion, a farmer, always playful and hardworking. Okay. Okay. I'm liking these character descriptions I'm seeing. It is really making sense for me. I think we're getting the hang of this character description. Lucy Eza, handsome village wine tapper, girls, fine boy, middle-aged male, poor with a happy-go-lucky attitude, not too tall, with a slight limp and a beautiful voice. Madam, now wow, handsome, beautiful voice, oh God, happy-go-lucky attitude. Hey, Victory Ocheme, Ocheme, I think. A mother to two children living in 2025. She's depressed, self-condescending woman with history of divorce. 35, relies on menial job, poor, tall, slim, dark, lacks proper hairline, looks rough, depressed, introverted with social anxiety. Okay, Sarah Degon. Ayomide is a married woman with pretty with her hair long and always smiling. She's 30 years old and works at Complex Hotel. She's slim and dark in complexion. Okay. Mikhail, Rebecca, 45, market woman, middle class, masses, widow, cheerful, kind, tall, slim. Okay. If you've not posted yours, please continue. Go ahead and post it while I continue with the class. Matthew Precious, 48, male, dark skin, married, medical doctor, buoyant financially, 6 feet tall. Mikhail, you skipped my second one. Okay. You posted 2. I'm seeing only 1 far. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't miss it. I read out Jonah, 16 years. Yeah, I remember seeing this one. Middle class, massive student, loud, rough with his stutter, short and thin. I saw that. Yeah. But I didn't know that you posted twice. I'm just seeing it now that you did that twice. Nice. Nice. Beatrice, 45 years, female, middle class, massive, market woman, loud, hisses at intervals. Gay girls, divorced, light, physical, light with big backside, tall with wide eyes, low baton. Okay, now. Peter Runa, Rebecca, 45, market woman, cheerful kind. I've seen this. Matthew Precious, 48, male, dark skin, married, medical doctor, buoyant financially, 6 foot tall. Julia Dada, Theresa, 28, female, teacher, middle class, single, short, pear shaped, correct, hardworking, talkative, and playful, loves to laugh loud. Okay, okay. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. You've all done well. Okay. Now let's take this to the next level. Remember, we're taking our story through 4 stages. The first stage is when you come up with a character description, a detailed character description that if anybody reads the character, they can picture this character in their minds. For example, let me use the last character we have here, Teresa. Teresa is a 28-year-old female. She's a teacher. Can you picture Teresa in your mind? She's middle class, obviously, or maybe even a little poor, maybe like upper lower class or lower middle class. She's single and she's short. You know those kind of girls, you know? Yes, she's pear-shaped. Hardworking, talkative, and playful, loves to laugh loud. Can you picture this person in your mind? I'm sure you can. And that is what a proper character description should be. Every day. Let me rewind a little. I asked us a question. I said, the story comes to you naturally, or do you have to work at it to get story ideas? And now I'm teaching you how to come up with story ideas. Yeah. And I said the first stage is you should have a character description. So this is my first assignment to you. Every day, listen to this. Every day, you want to come up with 10 character descriptions. Buy a notebook. Listen to me, or listen to this carefully. Lucy, for example, you said this is, was that Lucy or Deborah? You said this is what you came to learn. This is what you came for. So for those of you who this is what you came for, listen and make sure you follow my instructions. Buy a notebook. You can type it on your phone, but it's better if you just physically write it down. And on each page, write a character description. Do I have any notebook here? Day 1, this page, write character description 1, character description 2, 3, 4, 5. Write 10 of such every blessed day, starting from today, the 20th day of March. By the last day of March, are you listening to me? By the last day of March, you would have 100 character descriptions ready to go. A script writer is always ready to go. Wait, let me rewind. How does a script writer, what is the lifestyle of a script writer? Number 1, a script writer must be an avid reader. What did I say? You must be an avid reader. You must read a lot. Normal, everybody knows this normally, but script writers most times don't. Writers are readers. If you don't know how to read, you can't know how to write. If you're not very good at reading, you won't be very good at writing. If you don't read a lot, you will not be able to write a lot. So what's the first thing you must do as a writer? You must read a lot. Read far and wide. What concerns you and what doesn't. Read politics, read sports, read novels, read science, read Financial Times, read. Broaden your mind. You can't give what you don't have. From the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Is somebody here with me? Am I speaking to human beings tonight? Okay, so number one, writers read. You must read a lot. Number two, writers write. You must write a lot. For no good reason, sit down and write. So every writer must have a writing schedule, a writing regimen. This is what I recommend. First thing in the morning, you can choose whatever time you want, but choose a time. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 15 minutes. It could be 30 minutes. 1 hour is pushing it, except you've become like a semi-pro. You might not have anything to write for 1 whole hour. But see, the brain is a muscle, just like this. If you go to the gym and train your muscles, you'd have ripped abs, six-pack. Oh, see me, don't mind my own na fufu na end there. But you get what it is I'm saying, yeah? If you train your body, you have muscles. If you train this muscle also, it grows. How do you train this muscle? By forcing it to write. So let me paint a picture so that you can get it. There's a saying that if you do something consistently for 21 days, it becomes an habit. Yeah? If you write consistently at the same time of the day, every day for 21 days, it becomes an habit. You will not have to try. You will just be able to write. On command, you will just be able to write. So what should you do? Choose a time, e.g. 5 a.m. Fix a time to it, e.g. 10 minutes. Fix a position in your house. It could be, I'll wake up and I'll sit at the table. Or it will be just whatever. Just choose one position so that it becomes an habit. When you get up at 5 a.m., you sit at this corner, take your pen and paper and start writing. What if nothing comes? Just write. It's a lie. I'm telling you what you should write now. You see, the challenge people have when they tell them just write is they don't know what to write. I am telling you what to write now. Number one, I'm going to give you a number of things to write, but the number one is what? Character descriptions. So every day, for 10 minutes every day, just sit down and randomly come up with character descriptions. 10 of them minimum every day. If you are agreeing to this, if you like, okay, I will try my best to do this, 10 days, 10 character descriptions every day for the next 21 days, starting from this morning, either give an emoji, do a thumbs up, write something, let me know that you're committing to this process. Okay, Lucy is first on the list, Faith Aruno. Okay, Oladele Samuel, Sarah Degon, Dele Emmanuel, Victory Ocheme, Adejare Adeboye, Angel Choice Media. Okay, that's most of us. All right, so that's step one. Committing to writing 10 character descriptions, random character descriptions every day. Good. The ministry is slowly moving towards its permanent site. Let's move on. Oh, let me finish that line about what a writer does. I said number one, a writer reads, so read far and wide. Number two, a writer writes, so write consistently every day, right? Number three, a script writer watches movies. You are going to be writing films, yet you don't watch films. Okay, what you want to write? Tell me, what you want to write? So the third thing a scriptwriter must do is watch movies, like watch a lot of movies. And I don't mean watch movies for entertainment only. Watch it as if you're looking at a textbook. You are watching a movie. By the time we're done with this class, you will understand how stories work. So when you sit down to watch a film, believe me, I'm going to mess up films for you. You will not watch movies the same way again. Such that when you sit down and you're watching a movie, you are breaking down and deconstructing the movie in your head. What you'll be noticing will be character descriptions. You'll be noticing inciting incidents. You'll be noticing the point of no return. You'll be noticing plot points. All of that's what you'll be noticing when you watch movies now. And you try to connect the dots. I don't mean silly Nigerian films though. There are some sensible Nigerian films, but most of them are silly rubbish. Such that what you learn in class, if you try to use it to explain those ones, you'll just be having a heart attack. You're like, what rubbish is this? It will be messing your head. You're like, it's true, this thing is rubbish. But moving on. So, step one, read a lot. Step 2, write a lot. Step 3, watch a lot of movies. Yeah? What is step 4? What would you be writing? Scripts. Have you ever woken up and picked a script to read before? Most likely the answer will be no. So from today, you will start reading movie scripts. Just like what I said about you want to write movies, but you don't watch movies. You want to write scripts, but you don't read scripts. I don't get it. Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense. So I'm going to donate 100 scripts to your lives. I've downloaded 100 scripts. I'm going to drop it, but this will be only for those who are following us to stage 2. Okay? I'm going to give you 100 scripts from every genre: romance, action, science fiction, etc., drama, comedy, for you to just have some. So every day, pick a script and read it. You might not finish it. It's not about finishing a script. Finishing a script has its own place, but just being familiar with how a script is written, the format, the story, the content, the context, the dialogue, the subtexts, all of this. So you must read a lot of scripts. By the time you do these 5 things, are they 5? Read a lot, write a lot, watch movies a lot, read scripts a lot. I think that's just 4. By the time you do these 4 things consistently, by the end of the 2nd month, you don't need to be told that you can write the next Hollywood, not Nollywood, though. You will be able to write the next Hollywood blockbuster. Even you would have that measure of confidence in your abilities by then. Am I communicating to someone? Okay. Only one person, only Osho Dockers has pledged allegiance to writing 10. Okay, the rest of you did thumbs up. Okay, she typed it, you did thumbs up. Okay, all right, I'll fly with that. All right, so moving on. I think we've gotten the idea of the workflow of a writer and things you should make sure you do to grow as a writer. Good. Let's come back to how to come up with story ideas. So step 1, stage 1, which is a story in his childhood. We've crossed that barrier, which is come up with a character description that describes an interesting, relatable character. We can still polish the characters we've written. True, you will see how and why in a couple of minutes. But the fact that we've written this much means we are on the way to El Dorado. All right, let's go to stage 2. Stage 2 is give your character a problem. Yeah? Mikhail Ajibola, that's good to know. So stage 2 is taking your story from infancy to childhood. How do you take your story from infancy to childhood? In infancy, your story is a detailed character description. Childhood is you give that character a problem. Now, the next question will be, so what kind of problem can I give my character? How should I? The answer is very simple. Go back to your character description and look at the attitude of your character, or look at the financial status of your character. Look at any of their attributes and give them the opposite as their problem. Remember, a story is about someone who has a goal. He has something he wants to do. Yeah? Most people will do something along the lines of their strength. For example, you are here in this class to do what? To learn script writing. What is your goal? To learn script writing. What problem or obstacle can stand in your way of learning script writing? Power, time, schedule, or some other things. But you know it will be along the lines of your goal or along the lines of your person. E.g., you are somebody who sleeps early and then they fix script writing class for 8 p.m. and you like to sleep by 7:30, do you think that would be a problem, an obstacle for that individual or not? And can you see that that obstacle is as a result of their person, their personality, their attributes? So start from there. I want you to, everybody, go back to the character description you have posted and read through it, especially in the character of your in the attitude of your character. For example, Stephanie just posted hers. Stella, 25, female, an architect, single, average, hardworking, introverted, and very calculative. Now, if you want to give Stella a problem, it would either be because she's calculative and you find a problem that a calculative person can have, or she's introverted and you can find a problem that an introverted person can have, or because she's a female architect and you can come up with a problem that an architect can have because she's a female. Am I speaking to somebody? So I want you to revisit your character description and come up with a problem for your character based on the character description that you have come up with. If that is not vibing with you, then give your character a goal. So for example, okay, you know what? Let's do that. Stephanie, you have Stella, 25, female, an architect, single, average, hardworking, introverted, and very calculative. Now, I want you to give this character a goal, meaning maybe she's trying to vie for a project and all the other 9 people are men. That's a goal. Obviously, the obstacle would arise from that goal, meaning the other men do manly things to make sure she doesn't get it, that they get the contract instead. Or it could be around the fact that she's introverted. I've explained that one, or because she's very calculative. But can you see that the number of problems you can come with are very plenty? So everybody, I want you to type a problem for your character. Either because A, you give them a goal and you come up with a problem that opposes the goal, or B, you look at their person, their character that you've written in the character description, and you from there generate a problem for your character. Either ways, everybody, you have 3 minutes, come up with a problem for your character. So by 9:25, pens up. Hello, people of God. I'm waiting for us. It doesn't look like there's any activity going on here. Okay. Deborah James. Deborah Christopher, rather. James, a talented and troubled investigator, he has to unravel a series of high-profile crimes. Okay. But is that the James you came up with originally? Let me go and read your character description. Okay, James, mid-30s, single, skilled but troubled investigator. Okay, skilled but troubled investigator. Okay. Troubled investigator. He has to unravel a series of high-profile crimes. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Nice. Mikhail Ajibola. Beatrice, extremely beautiful but proud and rude. Married once and divorced. She's trying to get married to the richest man in town, but her reputation for being a troublemaker becomes a problem. Okay. Okay. Maybe. Yeah, I can see that happening. Yes. I can see that happening. Showroom, Angel Choice Media. Please bear with me, sir. I joined the class for the first time today. Okay. All right. Showroom Olufemi. Madam Market Woman, my character, has borrowed 10 million naira from Lapo to hoard grains. In mid-March, government opened the border for grain from foreign countries to enter unhindered. Then the price of grain falls by as much as 40% within a... How do you say Wala in Portable's voice? Wala. Okay, Faith Aruno. Problem. She struggles with her business and her late husband's creditors. What was your character description again? Rebecca, 45, market woman, widow, cheerful and kind, tall and slim. Okay. What's the problem again? She struggles with her business and her late husband's creditors. Hmm. How about the biggest creditor, her late husband's creditors, the guy that owes them the most money, insists on sleeping with her before paying the money he owes. Maybe. Well, maybe not sleep, but he wants to date her. Same thing. He owes money. Yes. She needs the money. Yes. He's not saying he won't pay. Yeah. But he's asking that she dates him before he pays. Otherwise, he's not going to pay. That sounds like a much more like challenging problem, so to speak. Osho Dokas, as a 35-year-old graphic designer who's introverted and has a speech defect and is easily angered, he faces challenges in effectively communicating his design ideas to clients and colleagues. This leads to misunderstandings, frustration, and potential setbacks in professional relationships and project outcomes. Okay. Osho Dokas. This sounds very, very relatable. It sounds like something that can happen in real life. But film is not real life. For your film to be interesting, real life has to be exaggerated. What did I say? For your story and the film to be interesting, real life has to be exaggerated. If you present things exactly the same way they happen in real life, it will be so boring. For example, let's assume that this is a scene in a film, meaning a teacher is giving lectures in class, and that is part of your film. And for 30 minutes, just the same way I'm teaching in this class, exactly that is what is happening for 30 minutes in your film. Do you think that will be boring or not? It will be extremely boring. In a film, in real life, we can stick with this. In a film, this going for 30 minutes will be the most boring film in life. So something gargantuan must happen in that class, something crazy or something memorable or something romantic or something unbelievable, something sharp that stands out must happen during that class to make that scene make sense to audiences. But if it is just the normal drone of life, people will get what's the word? Bored. Do you get this? So I'm going to have you to add a measure of exaggeration to the specific challenge that your graphic designer is having. Okay? Stephanie, Stella, an introverted architect, has to present her ideas, but is unstable, but is unable to constructively communicate her ideas because of her temperament. Let's take it a step further. Stephanie, what if Stella is a user? What if Stella has not had a fix for the day? What if Stella is unable to present and communicate her idea properly because she has not been able to use for that day? She has not gotten her fix, so she's on edge. What if the what's it called? The head of the presentation, she's presenting the idea to a board. The head of that board is dating Stella, wants her to win, is rooting for her. However, his hand fall because of Stella's inability to present properly, so he can't insist that they give her the project. Are you seeing the several levels of complication and obstacles that are arising? So consider that in yours and let's see what you can come up with. Matthew Precious, Daniel, a medical doctor who hardly has time for his family. Okay, I can see the problem here that he hardly has time for his family. That means something will go wrong because he's not there for his family. I hope that's what you're going to. If yes, then that makes sense. Sarah Degun, she's a slim lady, but her husband wants her to be fat. So because of that, she tries all her best to be. This is an attempt in futility. It is easier for a fat lady to be slim than for a slim lady to be fat. I hope we all know. Is there any leper in the house? If it has ever crossed your mind that you will fat one day, forget it. Except your mom is fat and you are still slim. Oh, maybe. Then that means it's a question of time. It's a question of childbearing, etc. But if your mama na leper, you too, you be leper, and you think there's any tablet you will take that will turn you to a robot, don't let them collect your money or you no go work. Tell them I said so. But a fat lady can go to the gym. She can drink slimming tea. She can go and do liposuction. The options are plenty. How did you even get on that note? Moving on. Victor Ocheme. She's a mother trying to provide a comfortable life for her kids while avoiding the tendencies of falling in love. She struggles with socializing and feels inadequate. Single mother trying to give her kids a comfortable life. She doesn't want to. It's not that she doesn't want to fall in love. She knows that men can use the hell out of single mothers, and she doesn't want to be just a footnote in somebody's conquest list. I think maybe because one or two people have showed her shege, and then she's now being careful, I guess. Oladele Samuel, Dele, good-looking and hardworking man, highly intelligent, but suffers from pain of an abuse with his stepmother, which later led to his default at work. What are we doing, sir? We're giving our characters a problem, yeah? I still don't see the problem here, though. Oladele Samuel. Yes, abuse. Okay, is it the fact that he has defaulted at work, meaning he has absconded from work? Is that what the problem is? It's not very clear. Please make it. Oh, okay, that. Okay. Or short dockers. Real life has to be exaggerated. Okay. Lucy, Jerry, popularly called Gyros Gyra. Gyros Gyra. Yes, sir. The village wine tapper couldn't pay Obioma's bride price because he couldn't afford it. She has to go to town and learn a skill, and he was scared she would marry someone else if she left the village. Suddenly, Obioma caught Chief Godwin's eyes, and Chief was ready to do everything to have Obioma. You have finished the film, Lucy. We said, give your character a problem. Not only did you give him problem, you gave him problems. Not only did you give him problems, you gave him obstacle, conflicts, and then you now added the okay, well, you've not given us a resolution, but it's almost as if you have. You've gone too hard on this thing. So if we were to extract just the problem will be that he can't pay Obioma's bride price. Full stop. Problem. The rest is over added. Are we on the same page? You will still come to add the rest to it, sure. But at this juncture where we are, what we're trying to do is to just give our character a problem. And the problem is he can't pay Obioma's bride price. So she wants to learn a skill. The chief having highs for her, All of those are now the motivation for him to do something. Okay. Victory. She has divorce history. Okay. Okay. All right. I think we have a rough idea of this giving your character a problem thingy. Oh, by the way, I should have given us an example. Skipped my mind. Oh yeah, let me give us an example. Although it's a watery example, but then example is still example. Kiss me. All right. So here's an example of taking a story through the 4 stages of story. So you have do I even have it here? I don't. All right, yeah, it's here. This one. So character description is a US senator. Is a man 50 in his male 50 upper class elite. What is his job? Being a senator. Is that, do I have everybody's attention though? I want to give us an example of the 4 stages of story. So stage 1, character description. A US senator, 50 years. What is the problem we want to give him?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please. Did somebody
Something
say
came to
something?
mind, and though I just joined the class, but I just want to push it on to you. Let me see if it actually flies
Okay.
based on my understanding of what you've seen.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm doing it by audio. I've
Go
not been
ahead.
getting the network issues. Now, what about a situation of a well devoted young preacher that decides to
I can't hear you clearly.
take a
Start
night
again.
off
I
by
didn't hear you
pursuing one
clearly.
of his fantasies?
Bro, you're not
Hello, can
toasting
you hear
woman
me?
now. You're not toasting woman. Eh?
Hello.
All right, say it again. Oh yeah, let's go again. I didn't hear most of what you said. Please do it again, please.
It's good, I said. What about a situation of a devoted and faithful priest, young priest,
Okay.
who decides to take a night off by pursuing one of his very wide fantasies of
Okay.
getting her or something.
Getting what?
So getting a whore.
Oh, okay. Okay. He wants to get laid.
Then lo and behold, yes. So lo and behold, while waiting and planning to go forward just a block from where he would get the whore, accidentally a girl is being chased and the girl runs to him, only to get to know that the girl is actually a tout or kind of a thing. So from there on,
The girl is a what? She's a tout.
yes, like she's kind of this a toutish kind of person who is
Okay.
very clear on what she wants and everything.
Okay.
But him being the faithful kind of person, he actually has his own weakness, which is those his desires that he wants to go on for.
Okay.
Are you with me, sir?
I'm following you 100%.
Good. So now, normally you will have to rescue the girl and take her home and everything. Then they are now both learning from each other's life. Him being not being
You have
truthful.
finished the film. Oh, you
So
have
being
finished the
faithful.
film.
Yeah.
You were supposed to just give us a character description and a problem.
Sorry about that. I was, the thing I told you, it was just running on my head. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. So if I get you right, our character description now will be a priest who's devoted and dedicated, but he has a fantasy to get laid. That's his problem. Shibi.
Yes.
So a priest, that's the character description. Problem is he secretly desires to get laid. Shibi. Good. So
Yes,
that's still
sir.
where we are. The remaining will come as we go.
Okay,
Are you
okay.
getting?
I'll just skim to mind. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So stage 2 is that, which is stage 1, character description, a priest, a devoted priest. Stage 2, we give our character a problem. He has this secret desire to get laid. All right, so let's go to stage 3 now. It's almost 10 o'clock, but we must finish this tonight. So stage 3
Okay.
is what's stage 3 again? Giving your character a motivation to solve the problem. So I was reading this example of a US senator. That is our character description. And he has a drug addiction problem. That means Mr. Guy, he uses. But do you know that the fact that somebody has a drug addiction, that's a problem, but it doesn't mean that he has a reason to solve that problem. Are we on the same page about problem versus motivation? I need it to be very, very clear to us. Somebody might have a problem, but might not have a motivation to solve the problem. Mr. Man can have a drug addiction problem. He knows he has an addiction. He uses cocaine and he continues to use cocaine, and he doesn't see anything wrong, or at least no big deal in the fact that he uses cocaine. Until, let's go to stage 3, which is when we give our character a motivation to solve the problem. You see, that motivation is probably the most important piece of your story. What did I say? The motivation is the most important piece of your story. If there is no motivation, the audience don't have a reason to follow your story any longer. So what is the motivation for this senator? He gets caught by someone, and the cutter, forgive me for the English, starts blackmailing him. Are we following this? He has a drug addiction problem, and then somebody catches him using drugs. That person takes his picture and he starts blackmailing him that if you don't pay me money, I will post your pictures and let the whole world know that you have a drug addiction problem. Do you know that now our senator has a reason to do something about his problem? I need everybody to answer. I need you to let me know you heard what I said and you understood what I just said.
Yes,
This
I
aspect
understand.
is the most important piece of everything. Character description is important. That he has a problem is important. But you see, the most important thing is that he has a reason to do something about the problem. Go and watch 80% of Nigerian films. The problem is you can't determine the reason, the motivation for the character to do the things that they are doing. Motivation is one of the key problems in most films. You must lock down that motivation. And you must make it so clear. So sometimes it's not as if they don't have motivation, but it's not apparent. So let's go to Gyros Gyra, which is Lucy Aza's story. So you have Jerry, a popular guy called Gyros Gyra. Is the village palm wine tapper, but he cannot pay his babe's bride price. So paying Obioma's bride price is this problem. So we've seen Gyros Gyra, and we've seen his problem. We met him at a point where he wants to marry this girl, but he can't pay for the bride price. Yes, problem. But what is the motivation to do something about it? She wants to go and learn a trade so that she can assist him financially. He is afraid that men will see her and she will follow those men, especially when we have shown that the chief is eyeing her, and the chief must have done one or two things that Jerry has seen the chief doing to make us understand that true, there is a tendency for Jerry to lose the girl if he cannot pay her bride price. Motivation. Are we getting this? That motivation is not only important that your character should have motivation. It is much more important that you must showcase that motivation for us so that we understand why he does what he does for the rest of the story. Remember, film is an action sport. Film is about visuals. Film is about what you show, actions that your characters take. It is not about what they say, it's about what they do. It's not about how you describe novel, it's about what your character does. So put your characters in situations and scenarios that shows the jeopardy that Jaira will get into if he cannot A, raise the bride price, B, he allows her to go and do some learning or some work or some trade. Then we'll just collect lazy man wife. Make it so obvious the consequence of Obioma going to look for money on her own. That is when Jerry's actions will now be justified. For example, if Jerry goes to steal, now we feel him. On the way to he's going to steal, we will be supporting him like, they should not catch him. He should be successful. He's committing a crime, but we are supporting the crime. Why? Because we understand his motivation. We understand the reason why he's doing what he's doing, and we want him to succeed at that bad thing so that he can get this good thing. Am I speaking to somebody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Osho Dorcas, your hand is raised. Do you want to tell us something or you have a question?
That should be an accidental race.
Okay. All right, Stephanie. So I believe we understand the idea of the motivation part of this, which is stage 3. Stage 3, taking your story to adolescence, is giving your character a reason, a motivation to solve the problem. I think I've explained that in details to us. We should get it by now. Okay, and then stage 4, the last stage, is the specific actions that your character takes to solve the problem. So in closing, I'm going to wait for us to post it. Everybody now go back to your character description and look at the problem you have posted and add the 2 extra levels, which is what motivation does your character have to solve the problem? So write the motivation and then tell us the specific actions he takes to solve the problem. We have 5 minutes. This is 9:48. Everybody, Lapo is... why does it look like Lapo Finance sent me a message? The thing just pop up like Microfinance Bank has awarded you 100 million naira loan to come and collect. That's what I thought I saw. Whereas it was showing me back in finishing his own script. All right, so Lapo Microfinance Bank is threatening to auction her car, which she used as collateral, and her 2 university undergraduates are poised to return to school with the school fee she has used to buy the grains she hoarded. Okay, it's confusing me. Let me read that again. Motivation. Lapo is threatening to auction her car. I get that. Okay, so that's the motivation.
Sorry, let me. I was typing that while you were explaining motivation. So that's basically the motivation. She needs to get her funds back, and the fund is basically the money that Lapo borrowed her and her children's school fees who are about to go back to school, they are forced to go back to school.
Okay.
So she needs to raise the funds as fast as possible to get her collateral car back and to send the children to school.
Okay, so that's our motivation.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Now give us the list of steps she takes to solve or to resolve this problem. Deborah Christopher, as James digs deeper in his investigation to get to the root of the high-profile crime, he gets himself entangled with a mysterious woman named Clara, 28, a journalist, beautiful, slender, poised with charming eyes, and elegance. Fell in love with her with Clara, but later discovered the shocking involvement in the crime. Now, James is torn between love and deception, as well as his professional duty to uncover the truth. Caught between desire and duty, James decides if risking everything for love is worth it. James is in trouble. James is in serious trouble. This is called when trouble sleeps, Yanga go wake up. Now waiting he dey find. Palava, he dey find. Palava, he go get you. Okay. While I think this is quite long-winded, but I get the idea. Okay. So James is an investigator. He has gotten himself caught while investigating a high-profile crime with a woman, only to discover that the woman is also part of the ring, the crime ring. Yeah. So now he has to choose between solving the case or falling for love. Shibi. So I need you. I'm not going to say it for you. I want you to tell us what is the motivation in this. What is James' motivation? You be the one to tell us that. I'm waiting for the rest of us. A, you want to tell us the motivation your character has to solve their problem, the problem you've listed above. And B, you want to tell us the specific steps they take to resolve the problem. Who is by the seaside? Am I the only one hearing the sound of the sea? I'm waiting for your submissions, people of God. If in 2 minutes time, you people don't start sending your submissions, I'll go and complete it for you and everybody will pay me 50 naira, all of you. Stephanie, Stella is at the verge of losing the contract because of her inability to communicate her ideas in a persuasive way and win a proposal. As this is happening, her contemporaries are waiting and trying by all means to take the contract because they felt they are better than her. Steps she took. Madam Stephanie, I still can't find the motivation here. I've seen a problem. You just restated the problem. You've not given us a strong enough motivation. She's an architect. She's female in a male-dominated world. Fine. She's on the verge of losing a contract that she's presenting because she can't present her ideas properly. That's a problem. Fine. What is the motivation for her to solve the problem? That others are waiting to collect it, that's still part of the problem, not the motivation. Your motivation has to be very strong. Okay, but then you show us steps she took to resolve the problem. She had to first of all invite all private public speaking, to invite a coach, a speaking coach to train her, after which she engaged in seminars to learn the appropriate way to persuasively sell herself. Madam Deborah, Stephanie, remember what I said about you must exaggerate real life? What you have written here can happen in real life, I agree. But in film, even if this is a 10-minute film, it will be freaking boring. There's nothing particularly challenging or interesting to watch on the screen when you're watching a speaking coach somebody to speak properly. There's nothing essentially engaging in watching her being coached to take seminars, such that we don't see how that affects her ability, although we can see it in English, how that might affect her ability to represent the contract. But the question is, has she not lost the contract all the while that she was doing coaching lesson? Or the remaining men, are they waiting for her to go and clean up her act before she comes to bid again for the project? It is not particularly compelling. So I'll need you to work on this again, yeah, and restate, what's it called? Your character description is on point. I love it. The problem is not too clearly defined, but there's a problem we can see, yeah? The motivation, however, is non-existent. So you need to add a motivation for why she has to solve the problem, and then finally show us the steps she takes. Okay. Shoromo Lufemi, she negotiates new terms with Lapo Microfinance Bank, and they in turn help her negotiate deals with their food vendors and customers, where she supplies them grains on credit and they repay monthly with a share of their profit. On paper, it looks interesting. It is going to be one of the most boring films ever. Things like this are not interesting in film. Happy ever after solutions are not the most important things. Like, you want to show us specific actions. Something, girl, she nearly lost this. She had to do this. She had to, for example, although I'm intentionally saving this bit for last, maybe I should talk about it at this moment. It is on my to-do list of, after this first stages, we're supposed to talk about one more thing before we're done with how to come up with story ideas. All of these are just the building blocks, not the final building. Okay, so I'll come back to this in a minute. Lucy, Jerry's on his way back from his friend's house. Caught Chief Godwin speaking with Obioma. She looked so beautiful and he couldn't imagine losing her. All other girls couldn't compare to his Obi. And though they threw themselves at him, Obioma was his true love. At that point, he decided to follow his friend's suggestions. He will join in trafficking the substance. He will surely be able to afford the bride price, and then he will stop. Okay. Okay. I'll take it. It can be much better, but I can work with this. Because this is our first time of doing this. Of course, it is not going to be the best thing we can write. So if, for example, you hear me giving corrections to what you've written, don't take that as a put down. Don't let that discourage you. That you are even coming up with this for a first outing is beautiful. Okay? The more you write, especially the more you get somebody like me give you notes on what is not working, and you tweak and you adjust it, the more you do that, the better your writing will get. Yeah? All right, I'm waiting for motivation and resolution from other people. This is 10 o'clock already. And we can't move forward if we don't do this. So I'll be waiting. Okay, Victoria Cheme. As she struggles with emotional problems, she avoids men until she meets with Lucas, who opens her up to real love. With real love, she has never felt, and stepping stone to get a new job that pays better, taking her off menial jobs. Her kids start to find her problematic with threats for child services, and one of her ex come in, fights for parental custody for their first child. She works harder and tries to forgive herself. She gets into therapy and marries Lucas with a new start at life. The first question that came to my mind, Victory, is what are you smoking? And then I scaled it down. What kind of films have you been watching? Because this is definitely not a Nigerian film. Child services. In which country? I'm just making light of the matter, though. I'm just trying to make fun of you. So, seriously speaking now, I think I get what you're going for, which is she finds love, she gets a better job. The job doesn't give her time for family. The kids, their parents, their dad starts getting into contention with her. So escalating tension and all of that. Is that what you're trying to say here? If it is, then yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Matthew Precious, Daniel, a medical doctor who hardly has time for his family, gets back from work one Sunday evening with his best friend who always come around time to time with gifts for Daniel's kids and wife. The kids ran to greet Daniel's friend instead of their dad. Daniel was sad, so he wrote a letter to his supervisor asking for leave time in order to spend time with his family. Oh. Okay. So the motivation for Daniel here will be on that day he gets home and his kids recognize his friend more than him. Is that what we're trying to say? If yes, if you don't know, I'm pointing it out that is the motivation. I was hoping you will spell out the motivation clearly and the actions it takes clearly so that we know that you know what you're saying. But in case you don't, I just pointed it out, which is that what's it called? The reaction of his kids to him and his friends should be the motivation. Another word for that is inciting incident. So in case you've been reading script writing books before now, you've been watching YouTube videos, or you've come across the word inciting incident, what I am calling motivation is what is called inciting incident. I'm intentionally not using script writing terms. I want us to get used. Those things can blow your mind because even understanding the definition is girls. Instead, I want us to warm up to the concepts. By the time you've written a couple of stuff, and I now point to you that, so you see this thing you've written is what we call inciting incident. Oh, okay, you just get it instinctively. That's what I'm trying to do here. Okay. And I like how he ends. The fact that he realizes and he tries to get time away from work so that he can spend time with his family. Will make a good short film, but do not attempt to write this as a feature-length film. Faith Aronoff, frustrated by her husband's creditors who are threatening to close down her business, she takes on the offer to become a chef for one of her customers, Moses, a 50-year-old wealthy widower with two teenage daughters who initially gives her a tough time but later liked her. She was finally able to sort her debts through the help of Moses, who fell in love with her and married her. Okay, so what is our motivation, Faith? I still don't see the motivation. I can see where your story is going by way of the ending. And it's one of the challenges Nigerian films have, which is they know what they want to do. They know what they want to say. They know where they want the film to end. They know where they start. They know where they want it to end. and in the middle they'll just do mago mago, jiggy jiggy, just to get to the end. Audiences will not care about your film if you do that. The journey is more important than the destination. But for Nigerian films, we focus too much on the destination, not on the journey. The journey is what the audience wants to follow, not the destination. Well, destination too is important, but the journey is more important than the destination. I don't know if I'm speaking to somebody. So Faith Haruna, clean up this. I want to see a stronger motivation for the actions that she takes. Even the chief, I want to see a stronger motivation for his reason for taking her in, his reason for falling in love with her, his reason for choosing to marry her, even though his daughters don't like her. Then you want to also show the motivation of the daughters. Why do they dislike her in the first instance? And their motivation for also switching allegiance and choosing to like her. By the time you approach it from all of these angles and you show us the motivation for each of these characters, now there is a story that we, the audience, want to follow. We are interested in the stakes in each of these people's lives. We want to get to the end of that film. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Is there any other person submitting, or should we end class tonight? There's still more to do. I guess we'll just pick up from here tomorrow. Okay. Time is fast spent. We've done a lot tonight, though, although we are not done with how to generate story ideas. We think we are, but there's still an icing on the cake that we would add to it that will make everything make sense. We'll pick up from there tomorrow. So, but I'm still waiting for submissions, those who will still finish up, give us the motivation and give us the actions that their characters take to solve the Oshodokas character profile. Get girls name Kelechi Adaobi with OBG at the back, age 35, social media influencer, narcissistic, attention-seeking, technologically inept. How can he be a social media influencer yet is technologically inept? Or do you mean adept? Do you mean he's good? Do you mean he's technologically adept, or you mean he's technologically inept? Or Shodokas, I'd like some clarifications about that. But moving on, character problem. Kelechi craves online fame but lacks basic tech. Oh, you've made it very clear. He lacks basic tech skills. Okay, leading to frequent social media blunders. His narcissism blinds him to constructive criticism, resulting in cringe-worthy content that attracts ridicule rather than admiration. Okay, I can relate with this, but you've shown us Kelechi. You've shown us Kelechi's problem, but you've not given us a motivation, and you've not given us the specific actions that it takes. So you're just like halfway through. But I like the direction this is going to. Yes, I do. I do. Oshodokas, are we on the same page? Did you hear the notes I just gave? I hope you did. So work on that. Oh, okay, you've typed it. Okay, yes, on it. All right, noted. Is there anybody who's still stoning us with their stories, or is it their motivation and resolution? Anybody? Before we call it a day today. Stephanie, you are showing up as two different people on my list today. Okay, Stephanie, I've seen your posts now. That's true. I wanted to accuse you that you've not posted your own story. I just remember that I've seen it. Okay. Matthew Precious, I'm not sure I've seen anything from you today. Have I? I'll go and check it. Vitaro, no, yes. We'll be slugging it out. Okay. I'm looking for Matthew Precious, Sabi. Daniel, the medical doctor. Okay, cool. From the look of it, it seems most of the people who are in class today have submitted their write-ups. Maybe we should end class at this juncture and pick up from here tomorrow. As usual, before you wake up in the morning, I would have posted today's video in the WhatsApp group. And tomorrow will be our last class for the week. Hopefully, we'll complete all we need to know to be able to write a short film script. And then we'll take our assignment. And I would expect all of us to submit our short film script either on Saturday or Sunday. Those who will be joining the paid class will be expected to pay over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday at the latest, so that by Monday we can all migrate to the paid class and we can continue class from there. Can I get a witness in here? Onyebuchi, go through mine. Where is it? Oh, okay. Kiss me. Sorry, kiss me. I'm just noticing it's Onyebuchi. I didn't see it before now. All right, so Ngozi is zealous lady in her 20s, a graduate of uni. Oh, kiss me. Okay. Average in height, outspoken, job hunting. She decides to join politics. Okay. She contests for a position of local government chairman, but she stopped by power tussle in her constituency. Okay. She kept pushing to the primary election. After the primary election, she was turned down. She decided to appeal to the wife of the governor, who is always soliciting for women. Thereafter, she was selected to chair a board. Okay. Character description. Ngozi, zealous lady in her 20s, a graduate of uni. Average in height, outspoken, job hunting. Okay. What's the problem? She decides to join politics. That's not the problem. She decides to contest for position for local government chairman. That is not a problem. But she stopped by a power tussle in her constituency. Okay, so now we have seen the problem. She stopped by power tussle from contesting for the position of local government chair. Okay. What is the motivation there? She kept pushing till the primary election. After the primary election, she was turned down. She then decided to appeal to the wife of the governor. So if I get you right, it is the turning down at the primary election that is the motivation. And the action she takes is to appeal to the wife of the governor. As per the wife of the governor is always soliciting for women and helping them get positions. Thereafter, she was selected as a chair to the board. Is that what your story is trying to tell us, Onyebuchi? Am I correct? Oh, you posted 2 stories. Okay. Motivation. She can't afford to lose the No, that's Stephanie. Oh, okay. I'm confusing them. Okay. I think I'm done with Onyebuchi. Oshodokas. Motivation. Determined to become Nigeria's top influencer. Kelechi aims to amass millions of followers and secure lucrative brand deals, believing this would validate his self-worth. Okay. I can see that, yes. So his motivation is his drive, is what he wants to achieve. Top influencer, millions of followers, lucrative brand deals. And what's it called? And as a narcissist, he believes this will validate his self-worth. Shay? All right, I think it makes sense. So what is now left is the specific steps he takes, or Shodokas. I think you're on the right path. Yeah. So it is now the specific steps it takes to pull this off. That's what is remaining for your story. Okay. Stephanie, motivation. She can't afford to lose the contract because it's the only way to prove that a woman can thrive in a men's dominated field. Okay, let's talk about this. If your story is about somebody trying to prove their worth. Like in this case, she wants to prove that a woman can thrive in a men's dominated field. Then you want to build her backstory. You want to build her person and her character. You want to show us that she has what it takes. She's just taken for granted because she's a woman. You want to put her in a lot of situations and circumstances that proves this to us above and beyond. That we, the audience, we know, based on what we've seen about her, that she has the capacity to do this. However, men are the ones who are pushing her back, that are not helping, allowing her to succeed. So that when we see the specific steps she takes, we're rooting for her to win the day. That's how to go about this stuff you are writing, Stephanie. Are we on the same page? That is me helping you to buff up your story. I'm not canceling what you have written. I'm not saying what you've written is not good. I'm just saying, now, if you want to follow through with this idea you're coming up with, things you need to infuse in it to make it make that much of a sense. Show you what. That's the first time I'm speaking Yoruba today. First. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, I didn't see this. Steps she took to resolve her problem. She had to go out of her way to do extra work in order to lay her hands on information, and also decided to stand up in defense of equality irrespective of gender. Okay. But you heard what I said about you need to show us enough things she has done that gets us to know that she's qualified for what she wants, and show men intentionally bringing her down so that when she starts taking the steps, we root for her. We want her to win. She's not winning just because she's a woman. She's winning because she's a woman who has demonstrated excellence, and it is obvious that men are just being men trying to pull her down. Does that make some sense? Okay. All right. I would love to see the final results. Now, as we begin to close the class, can we all see that at the big, well, for most of us, I know some of you still used an old story, although I did warn us at the beginning that you should not use old material in this thing that we're doing. Okay, but for those of you who follow through with the process, can you see the fact that at the beginning of this 4-step process, you did not have any story, but by the time we were done, you have some story idea that you can now work on and flesh it out into a film. Is that what we have been able to successfully do today or not? I want people to speak up now. Let's know whether we actually are where we wanted to be or if we are not there yet. Okay. Lucy. We're done. No Yoruba today. No coke or ewa. Could that be the motivation? You got me. We're done. Not there, sir. Not yet there, okay? So yes, I agree with you, Oyebuchi, that we're not finally there. But like Adejare Adeboye just said, I feel like I'm almost there. We are on the road. If it wasn't that, we just need a little more time. There are things we should cover that we've not covered. And like I said, we'll start from there tomorrow. By midway to class tomorrow, we should have exhausted all of this. Whatever you do, make sure you don't forget what we learned today, so that when we are adding to it tomorrow, it will make complete sense to us. Okay? But most of us would agree that we feel like we're almost there. We feel like, okay, I should be able to generate something like a story by now. By tomorrow, you get to that place where you know that you can, like this, generate a story idea out of thin air. Okay, or short docker still crawling. It's fine. Today is our first day. We'll do this, like I said, every day for the next 21 days. Yes, which reminds me. So our assignment for tomorrow. 1, write 10 character descriptions. You either submit it in the group or you send it to me personally if you're feeling like somebody can steal it. But let me say something about stealing today. I hope everybody is listening. Don't bother yourself right now with, will somebody steal my idea? That should not be your headache this minute. You are growing. You're learning to come up with ideas and write beautiful stories. You will grow more. You will know more. What you're writing now is not the best thing you can write. You would continue to get better by the day. If somebody steals what you wrote today, you're still going to write even greater, better stuff. Okay? And there's a Yoruba proverb that if you want to avoid catching a lie, you will not be able to catch a truth. Yes. If you don't want to get lied to, you will not hear the truth. If you're not ready to lose something, you will not gain anything. So in this life, especially when you're growing, be ready to give away stuff for free. Be ready to, somebody is cheating you, but you intentionally ignore as if you don't know, as if you didn't notice. Be ready to get ripped off. Better that you get ripped off in the early stages and you get wiser than you have become done and then they now rip you off. That thing can pain. Learn everything now. Learn the loss of losing stuff. Learn the knowledge of writing stuff. Learn everything now. So when I say post your assignments, the same way you are posting is the same way others will post. And I don't expect anybody to copy anybody. And even if anybody copies somebody, let them copy it now. Is that the best they can do with their lives? Okay, so like I said, if you still don't feel comfortable posting your character descriptions in the group, send it to me personally. It's fine. But I'm encouraging us to post all of our material in the group. Either ways works though. Lucy, I'm getting there. Never felt this thrilled to be in a class. I started reading bestsellers at age 6, like Windmills of the Gods, Sidney Sheldon, most of Jeffrey Archer's novels too, and I always wanted to write. I really appreciate this free class. So priceless. Thank you, sir. Thank you too. I appreciate that you appreciate what we're doing. Thank you. For the rest of us, thank you too very much for joining class today. Windows Shift S. Okay. Yeah, so thank you very much for joining class today. I think we have tried a little today. This is the longest class we've taken so far. Yes or yes, this is more or less 10:30. Okay. Tomorrow, meet us by 8. Yeah. Thank you so much for today. It was really insightful. Thank you to Stephanie. Thank you, Faith Aruno. Thank you, Oyebuchi. Thank you. Dorcas, it's a pleasure having. Where is Precious Seed? Is she in this class? Hey, Precious Seed is not here. Okay, now. All right, Alabaduluju. Thank you too. So guys, tomorrow is another day. Let's end class here tonight. We'll meet tomorrow by 8 p.m. Stay blessed. Thank you and good night. Matthew Precious, today's class made me think deep. Thanks you, sir. More grace, I do appreciate. I appreciate you too for joining the class. Shoromo Olufemi, thank you so much and good night. Good night to you too. So I'll be ending the class now.